We have a new tax bill out there that's going to have an impact that we just don't know what it's going to mean at this point yet. And we'll find out. But what I want to talk about now is you who have a family who want to take care of them. You want to preserve your assets, protect them. You want to minimize your risk from unjust lawsuits. You want to transfer your wealth to the heirs and take care of the people who you love and the causes you care about. All those things that matter to you will help give you peace of mind that everything is going to be okay. So what I want to talk about now is 5 things that you should be doing for your family. And yes, there's a new tax bill out there. We'll see how that impacts things going forward. But regardless, these are 5 things that you want to do for your family to get that peace of mind, to get that comfort that it's all going to be okay, that you've done what needs to get done. Number one on my list, I'd say take a look at your current estate documents. It's very common that we get busy with our lives, busy with our businesses, and we focus on growing that company and building it. And then we get to a point where we look back and say, wait a minute, what have I not done? And by that time, you've already made yourself a target, made yourself wealthy, and now it's time to protect what you've already put together. So one of the key ways you do that is you look at your estate documents. You make sure to get those done, because how you protect your net worth is you do that with insurance, with trusts, and with business entities. So take a look at your estate documents and think about this. Estate documents aren't just for when you die. Yes, when you die, those documents are legal documents. They tell the doctors, they tell the attorneys, they tell everyone what you intend, what you want to have happen when you die. But estate documents are also for when you're living. So there's what's called a healthcare power of attorney. That tells the physician in the hospital what they what they can or cannot do with you if you cannot make decisions for yourself. That document is absolutely critical that you have, because with that healthcare power of attorney, you tell somebody else, you give somebody else, you delegate authority to them so that they can make those decisions for you if you cannot make them for yourself. There's another power of attorney called a durable power of attorney as well. And that is who can make decisions for you with the bank, with investments, with buying and selling your home, etc. So all those are part of the estate documents. And when you go through that process, make sure that you go and you tell the attorney what you have, what you're trying to get to, and help them understand where you are. So number one on my list is estate documents. You may or may not already have these. If you don't, get with an attorney. And if you don't feel bad that you haven't done it yet, because you know what? You're not alone. A lot of people wait until they're 50, 60 years old or later to actually get their first estate documents done because they don't think about it and time goes very, very quickly. So again, number one, get your estate documents done. Number two, insurance. Do you have the right insurance on everything? Think about your home, think about your cars, think about your umbrella liability policy, think about your life insurance, disability, health. There's a lot of insurance out there. Some of it you need, some of it you don't, and you need it in different amounts. But one of the key things I'll mention with insurance that people often don't think about is you have, of course, insurance on your house and you have the insurance on your cars, but that has a limit of liability on it. Many times that liability limit might be 250,000. I would say that what you want to do is you want to make that limit higher, because when I met with a private injury attorney years ago, probably 20 years ago, I sat with him to ask, hey, what do you do when there's a car crash and you are now trying to get money from the other side? What do you do? And one of the clues he gave me, which was so vital, is he said, you want to have high limits on your insurance because that's the easy money. The person who is suing you will look first at your insurance policies. That's why you want to have high limits on those policies. So let's say you have your car insurance that has a $500,000 liability limit on it, and it stops at 500,000. Well, that's not where you stop. You want to add this other policy that many people just simply are not aware of, and it's called excess lines. It's called an umbrella liability policy. a personal umbrella liability policy. So that picks up where the automobile limits leave off. So if your car goes up to 500,000, your umbrella starts at 500, it goes up to 5 million, 10 million, whatever that number is. But a lot of people don't understand that that's what you want to have on top of the car policies, on top of your homeowner's policy. So again, number two on my list, look at all your insurance and make sure it's right. And I would say that when you think about that, think, of course, about all your stuff, cars, house, vacation home, quads, boats, whatever you have, all that stuff has to be insured. But also you want to think about health insurance, disability insurance. What about long-term care insurance? There are lots of insurance policies out there that you can buy, and your insurance agent will be happy to talk with you about additional policies. But number two on my list is insurance. Number three, a contingency plan. Do you have a contingency plan for your family? Well, what does that mean? When I think of a contingency plan, I think about, well, what if you've got a plan A and you're working on plan A, but what if plan A doesn't come through for whatever reason? Maybe a spouse suddenly dies, maybe there's a divorce, maybe something happens in your business, who knows? But your plan A now has to shift. You've got to have a plan B. What is that contingency plan? And one of the simple things I'll mention kind of really goes back to insurance. If you don't have your plan A working for you, the contingency might be that you suddenly die. Where does that leave your family? Well, get some term insurance, term life insurance. It's an easy way to get some money in there. But as an attorney, an estate attorney once told me, the estate documents talk about when you die. And yeah, at that point, great, they do what they're intended to do. But what they don't do is they don't plan for that time between when you get sick and you end up in the hospital and you end up going through all these medical things and then you die. That whole time span, that gap of time there where you're diagnosed with something and then you die, normal estate documents don't take care of that. And that, as I think about a contingency plan, makes me think about long-term care or disability insurance, because what if that happens to you? Where does that leave your family? Medical bills are extremely expensive, and it's easy if you don't have the right insurance. It's easy to end up in a situation where now you've got enormous medical bills and it eats through all of the wealth that you've built up for your family. So number three on my list, have a contingency plan. Number four, have you funded your trust? Many people have set up their trusts with their attorney. That's great. But you know how many people have actually funded the trust? I would say it's probably less than 10%. And I'm saying that based on experience. When we meet people who come through here who already have estate documents, they're typically very proud they've got these documents in hand. Great. But you know what you may not know, when you get those documents done, more often than not, the lawyers will not fund the trust. What does that mean? What it means is when you create a legal document, a trust, you have to retitle your assets into the name of that trust. That's what attorneys call funding the trust. And so all of the assets you have on your personal balance sheet, you want to think about those assets, think about how they're titled, and retitle them in the name of your trust. But you also want to talk with that estate lawyer to make sure that what they have created for you, that they give you directions on what needs to be in the trust. Very often, the estate lawyers will take your personal residence, your house, they will retitle that and put it into the name of the trust. And that's where they stop. So what about your investment accounts? What about how you title the beneficiaries on your IRA? What about your bank accounts? What about the other stuff that you own and control? That's often not done. So again, number four on my list, fund your trust. Take a look at how you have your assets titled and make sure that those are titled correctly. Number five on my list, do you have a financial strategy to take care of your family? Because what I see over and over and over again is people's lives get busy. They build very valuable companies worth a lot of money, and they've done well. They live a nice lifestyle. They've got great vacations, and it all is great. But there isn't an overall strategy to make sure that this continues. And when I think about that, I'm thinking about the ongoing cash flow net of taxes. I'm thinking about tax strategies to minimize current taxes and estate taxes if those are going to apply to you. I'm thinking about making sure that all of the wealth that you have, that it is protected because you've titled it correctly, you've insured it correctly, you've put it into either LLCs or into trusts, or you've got the right insurance on all of that stuff to help protect what you have. So that overall overarching financial strategy is number 5 on my list, to make sure that you have that. And if you go to one person for one expertise to get that done for you, you want to make sure that you're engaging, you're bringing in the tax CPA to have those conversations. You're bringing in the estate lawyer to have those conversations. You're bringing in your business attorney to have those conversations. You're bringing in the insurance agent to have those conversations, bringing in your banker to have those conversations, and obviously your wealth advisor, financial planner, making sure you have those conversations with all of those people, because all of those perspectives bring value to the table. And who benefits from it? You. You and your family in your business, you're the one who gets the benefit by having all those people at the table at one time talking about you. So when I say 5 things you want to do for your family now, I'll recap them quickly. Number 1, current estate documents. Number 2, insurance. Number 3, contingency plan. Number 4, have you funded your trust? Number 5, have an overarching financial strategy to make sure that everything makes sense and it's all in alignment. I hope this helps.